Are you married to an addict or alcoholic? Or are you in a committed relationship with one? Me too. Join me, Anonymously Bex, on my journey of self-discovery. I will guide you through a myriad of topics designed to illuminate a path towards your own awakening. Addiction is a family disease. Everyone in its orbit is profoundly affected. Subscribe to our podcast to help me, Anonymously Bex, continue to provide tailored content to the unwitting lives of addicts and alcoholics. And now for this week's article. Welcome. Today's bonus episode is called Thanksgiving Strategies. The holidays can be very challenging for any family, let alone a family navigating the murky waters of addiction and alcoholism. On the precipice of such a challenging event, the Thanksgiving dinner that is looming in our distance, let's briefly remind ourselves of our role, boundaries, and your toolkit. With that, let's dive into this week's bonus episode. Let's remind ourselves of our role. With the prospect of the great Thanksgiving dinner looming in the distance as partners of good people suffering from addiction or alcoholism, our minds have already begun a neurotic examination of possible scenarios that will undoubtedly lead to triggering emotions in our partner. Take a deep breath. This is a gentle reminder. This is not your role here. It is not your job to carefully examine the landscape and look for the hidden landmines. It is not your job to try to navigate emotional triggers to shield your partner from encountering any distress. It is not your job to be the buffer between your partner and his family. It is not your job to maniacally follow your partner around to ensure they never have the opportunity to engage in secret spirits. Take a deep breath and let go of that role. That is a huge burden that you've been carrying. And again, we know that we fall into that role as a logical reaction to our partner's behaviors when they are in active addiction, born of the best of intentions, under the worst of circumstances. So if that's not our role, what is our role? Let's discuss. Enacting healthy and appropriate boundaries. A reminder here, we define a boundary in this community as a sphere of safety around your persons. That encompasses physical, emotional, psychological, and communicative boundaries. Ask yourself this simple yet very difficult question. What boundaries do you need to feel safe this Thanksgiving? Take a deep breath. That's a big question. What boundaries do you need to feel safe this Thanksgiving? Now recognize that your family or your partner's family's expectations for the holiday have no business influencing the answer to that question. Again, what boundaries do you need to feel safe this Thanksgiving? Any justification or excuse you may feel compelled to use to avoid setting an appropriate and healthy boundary needs to be evaluated, disarmed, and reconciled. So I ask you again and again, what boundaries do you need to feel safe this Thanksgiving? Do you need to go to dinner late and leave early? Do you need to skip the big family event and opt for a casual morning visit with the family, a more intimate, controlled, and sober option for engaging with the family? Skip the family events altogether, cook a meal at home with the kids. These are only options to get your creative juices flowing so you can craft a plan that meets your family's needs, ensures your boundaries are upheld and you feel safe, honors your own ties to your extended family, honors the tradition and the sentiment of the holiday. But the big boundary comes first. The above boundaries mentioned are around the dinner event itself, but let's talk about the big boundary that needs to be in place first. Are you ready? You will accept nothing other than sobriety this holiday. Say it out loud over and over again until you find peace, logic, and serenity in that statement. You will accept nothing short of a fully sober partner. That is the main boundary that needs to be upheld and enforced before any other boundary can be ventured or gained. What do I mean by this? Simple. If you enact a variety of boundaries to prop up your day, to protect your peace, and your partner is living in active addiction and quite predictably becomes intoxicated, what exactly is it that you have protected or gained through your efforts? You must first ensure that your main boundary, your big scary boundary, is in place before you structure your day. Know this truth. This is a fact of being married to a good person suffering from addiction or alcoholism, regardless of the day of the week, regardless of the looming holiday. The coming holiday simply serves as an opportunity to practice your newly learned skills, to step out of the natural codependent role and into a role that is productive, propels you and your kids, if you have them, forward towards a better tomorrow. Let's talk about your toolkit, your healthy skills. With that, let's discuss the toolkit that you need to be equipped with this week. In brief, mindful of typical codependent pitfalls, your detaching mantra, your guide to navigating manipulations and lies, your lens of critical thinking, your definition of love. Let's discuss in greater detail. Mindful of typical and atypical codependent pitfalls. Let's remind ourselves of the definition of codependent partners. A codependent person is one who has let another person's behavior affect them and who is obsessed with controlling that person's behavior. Defined by Melody Beattie in her book, Codependent No More. For me, my codependent tendencies are so deeply entrenched with enmeshment, I have to remind myself to detach. Not only to detach myself from his partner who is in his sober infancy of sorts, but also to detach myself from the outcomes, to allow him to bear the consequences of his actions, his choices. When I evaluate my logic, somewhat natural response to my husband's mood, behaviors, choices, if I can identify how I am seeking to control his behaviors or the outcome of a scenario, then I can more easily recognize when I am on the precipice of a codependent relapse. And if and possibly when your inner seas become stormy or turbulent, you sense your partner is somehow unstable, and you feel those codependent thoughts, emotions, reactions beginning to engage, that's your cue to turn your focus from your partner to yourself, to focus on detaching. So let's talk about our detaching mantra. Your mantra, when you recognize your tides are rising, your inner seas are picking up speed and turbulence, your mantra needs to be this: to stop your own reactivity to your partner's behaviors. To stop your own reactivity. If your partner chooses to become intoxicated, there's nothing you can do except to enact your boundary. That's the truth. You cannot control them. You cannot make choices for them. You cannot enable them any further. Set the boundary. Stop your codependent enabling behaviors and detach. Repeat the mantra over and over in your mind throughout the day. This is your armor. This is where you return to when the tides begin to rise. Now let's talk about a guide to navigating manipulations and lies. Now is the time to remind yourself of common manipulation tactics that can be employed on you in your partner's efforts to protect their disease. These tactics are reviewed in greater detail in our articles entitled identifying manipulative behaviors in addiction, and the complex relationship between manipulation, love bombing, and codependency. Manipulative tactics. All right, let's go through them in brief. Gaslighting. Manipulating someone into questioning their perception of reality. Guilt trip. Emotional manipulators are masters at leveraging your guilt to their advantage. Excessive charm or flattery. Manipulators use exaggerated praise to gain trust. Silent treatment. Deliberately not responding to your reasonable calls, texts, emails, or other inquiries. The manipulator presumes power. Passive aggression. The manipulator may make sarcastic jokes or comments that can later be dismissed as "I was just joking" or "you take everything too seriously." Victimhood. Exaggerated or imagined personal issues. Exaggerated or imagined health issues. Dependency, codependency, deliberate frailty to elicit sympathy and favor. Playing weak, powerless, or the martyr. Isolation. There is safety in numbers, which is why manipulators work to isolate you from the people and places you feel most comfortable. Shifting blame. A tactic where a person refuses to take responsibility for their own mistakes or actions and instead assigns fault to someone else. It is important to note that shifting blame is also a form of verbal abuse. And on a more important note, it may seem obvious that the goal of the manipulator is to gain control over another person's feelings or to cause emotional chaos through coercive control. So let's use a lens of critical thinking. Armed with a solid clinical definition of common manipulative tactics, when you're in the moment with your partner, you need to apply a lens of critical thinking. If they attempt to employ some manipulation, some lie, in order to either become intoxicated or protect their intoxication, you need to apply your lens of critical thinking. Find the truth within their lie or manipulation. Address the truth paired with the boundary. For example, yes, family can be triggering. I know that I will never fully understand the pain your family has inflicted. However, we agreed that our home will be sober. If you are not sober or cannot be sober, you cannot return home with us or stay the night with us or continue to live with us, etc. Craft it to your own needs. Apply your lens of critical thinking to locate the truth within the manipulation or the lie. That is how you disarm it. You give voice to the truth. You stand firm in the truth and you refuse to enable them to hurt their body through intoxication. Let's remind ourselves of the definition of the word love. This is your gentle reminder of the true definition of love, or how we in this community define the word love as something other than a deeply felt emotion. Are you ready? Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. Remind yourself over and over again of the truth until it feels natural and logical. Enabling is a selfish act born of selfish fears that is not a demonstration of love for your partner. Enabling behaviors allow them to harm their mind, body, and soul. Codependency and codependent behaviors, while understandable and certainly a natural reaction to the ecosystem of living with someone in active addiction, is not a demonstration of love for your partner. Codependent behaviors lead to enabling your addicted partner to continue to harm their mind, body, and soul. That's the truth. You need to thoughtfully make the choice to arrest those behaviors, those thought patterns, and seek the truth. Love is creating a healthy boundary and enforcing it. Love is not allowing your partner to believe their own lies. Love is acting out of integrity and ethics in all of our dealings. Love is showing empathy, but shrouding yourself with appropriate safeguards. In conclusion, the holidays can be hard. Yes. Do people get through them without spiraling towards self-destruction? Yes. Can you find the courage, the strength to protect your sphere of safety around your persons this Thanksgiving? Yes, I believe you can. Listen to this podcast episode over and over again until it makes sense, until you can see the logic and distinguish the truth through the manipulations. The importance of the boundary. Do you understand the importance of the boundary? And can you understand demonstrations of real love, acts of real love? You can do this. You are never alone. Help is always available. Until next time, anonymously, Bex. Do you like this content? Do you find it helpful for navigating your own journey? If you do, please take time to subscribe to the Secret Spirits podcast. By subscribing to this channel, you can help me, Anonymously Bex, continue to provide tailored content to the unwitting wife of an addict or alcoholic. If you have comments, suggestions, or are open to sharing your own experience being bound to an addict or alcoholic, email me today, admin@secretspirits.com. Do you need one-on-one support in this time of need? Book a consultation with me, Anonymously Bex, or join our membership program where you can begin to build your own support system. Visit our website, secretspirits.com. Subscribe to our channels, Secret Spirits, to get more from Secret Spirits today.